Hola todos! This is a full paper walkthrough for the GCSE Spanish listening paper, using the Edexcel Hayate 2022 paper. I'm going to do the full paper and talk out loud my process for answering each question to help you see how you should tackle this paper. I've done this before for the AQA 2022 paper as well, so that will be linked in the description, along with the PDF for this if you want to do it simultaneously with me. Vale, vamos. I'm going to start the audio now.
This is the Pearson Edexcel GCSE Paper 1 Listening in Spanish.
So we get
Higher
5
tier.
minutes of reading time.
Summer 2022.
Yep.
You have 5 minutes to read through the question paper. You may make notes at any time.
Yep.
You may open your question paper now.
Vale, vamos. 5 minutos to read the paper and translate different things. So let's start with this then. First question, mi viaje escolar, to your school trip. What does Mario say? We have all these different options. Let's start translating some of these. Museo is museum. Aburridos, boring. Junio is June. Centro comercial is shopping center. We may see words like tienda, which just means shop, instead of. So often you see synonyms. Instead of centro comercial, you may see something like tienda. Corto means short. Autocar is car. We might see something like coche instead. Avión is plane. Other ones should be quite easy. Vale. So we have A, B, C, D, E. Fill in gaps. Okay, let's keep going then. So number 2 about el tiempo is the weather in this case. Again, multiple choice with these 4 options. Frío is cold. It's cold. Calor is warm or hot. Viento is wind, and lluvia is rain. Vale. So 5 different places in Spain. Vale. Okay. So next is a charity event. Again, multiple choice. This message is for first, second, third, final. These are your ordinal numbers. First is primero, segundo, etc. You should know these numbers. And tercero, etc. Okay, let's keep going. Charity boxes, all these different days of the week. You should know days of the week. The next can mean próximo is the next, or que viene we might see. For example, el miércoles que viene just means next Wednesday. Vale, a meeting is una reunión. We might see that word. Before is antes, and then after school, for example, después is after. Okay, next one, problems in the hotel. What does he complain about? To complain is quejarse. Complain, yep. Vale. Keys is las llaves. I'm going to make this a bit bigger, actually. Las llaves. Dirty is sucio. And the rest of it, desayuno. So I'm just reading through the paper, translating certain words, and mainly just understanding what each question is about. Yeah, Olympic Games, another multiple choice question, A, B, C, just 3 parts to this one. Let's keep going. Career plans. So we have Pablo and Amelia. 3 questions about Amelia and then 2 about Pablo. Fireman is bombero. So giving one reason why he wants to be a fireman, why the job is important. The next one, a birthday party. Cumpleaños is just your birthday, or like the birthday. Raquel's best friend absent from the party. La fiesta is party. So why was she absent? And then why does Raquel's mother mention her? Why does Raquel mention her grandmother? Abuela, as you might know, is grandmother. Vale, dress, el vestido. Oops, vestido. And then what made this party special? Well, let's keep going. Boarding school, more multiple choice questions. The listening paper is mostly multiple choice 1-mark questions. So if you're ever unsure, always guess something, never leave a question blank. About Ivan, blah, blah, blah. Okay, Valencia Underground Station. Here's some sort of longer 1-mark, 2-mark written questions. Night service, blah, blah, blah. Journey, we might see the word el trayecto maybe for journey, or el viaje. Trayecto, el viaje is just the trip. Because this whole question is about train journeys, mentioned it quite a few times. Discounts, descuentos is discount. Vale. Okay. And that's the end of the paper. So all of this is just multiple choice. There's no translation question or anything in the listening paper. So this is the question 10, is the final question about shopping. Ir de compras is how you say like to go shopping. And then here we're picking two correct answers from both of these. In cash is en efectivo. Returning goods. She hates shops selling vintage items. Makeup is how do I spell that? Maquillaje. La ropa is the clothes.
In a few moments, you will hear the first
Vale.
recorded extract in Spanish.
Let's go to the top. Let's go to question 1 then.
You
Let's
will
start the
hear
paper.
each extract twice.
Yep. So each one will play
After
twice.
the first playing of the extract, you will hear one bleep.
Like that.
After the second playing of the extract, you will hear two bleeps.
So 2 beeps means the question's finished.
After
Basically.
each question title is announced, there will be a pause to allow you to read the question.
Which you should have done it in the reading
You
time.
may write at any time while the recording is playing.
Yep. Vale.
Now, turn to the first question.
First question. Filling in the gaps
Section
with these
A.
words.
Mi viaje escolar.
So, Mario piensa que los viajes escolares son. So where we see son, we know it has to be a word, a plural adjective. Something like divertidos or aburridos is going to be one of them, for sure. So one of them. Second one,
Pregunta
month,
1.
febrero.
Me divierto en los viajes escolares. En febrero fuimos a París.
So febrero, viajo.
Viajamos en autocar, porque el avión era caro. El viaje duró muchas horas, pero hablé con mis amigos. No me gustó ir al centro comercial,
That's no me gustó,
pero en mi opinión,
en mi opinión.
el Museo de Arte
Museo.
fue increíble.
Museo fue increíble, so that's going to be museo. Vale. And these ones is divertidos, because he said that he enjoyed it, I think. Let's hear one more time. And febrero, that was mentioned febrero. So they threw you off, they said centro comercial, but he said that's what he
Me
did not like.
divierto en los viajes escolares. En febrero fuimos a París.
Yep.
Viajamos en autocar,
Yep,
porque
viajamos.
el avión era caro. El viaje duró muchas horas, pero hablé con mis amigos. No me gustó ir al centro comercial,
No me gustó.
pero en mi opinión, el Museo de Arte fue increíble.
Well, that's quite a easy first question, I think. With C, viajó is he, she traveled, but they just said viajamos. He said viajamos, so we traveled basically, and not the avión was expensive. Vale. Quite an easy first question in my opinion. Let's move on then to the weather. Second question. En el sur
El
hace,
tiempo.
I'm going to say calor, because normally it is quite hot in the south. Just a guess though. Let's listen to the audio there. Madrid, norte, Barcelona, hace frío quizás.
Pregunta 2.
Ahora pasamos al tiempo en España. En el sur brilla el sol y va a ser un día caluroso. Sin embargo, en Madrid va a llover bastante durante todo el día. En el norte nos tendremos que poner las chaquetas de invierno porque las temperaturas van a bajar muchísimo. En Barcelona nos acompañan fuertes vientos, así que mucho cuidado. En Ibiza también disfrutaremos del sol y de temperaturas de 30 grados.
Vale. So I'm just making notes on what I heard. Now I know the answers. The first one is colored. Let me change color here. I can change color this color. Let's change the blue really quickly. So first one is calor. It's going to be hot because the sun's going to shine. Second one is going to rain, so lluvia.
Ahora
Chaquetos
pasamos
de
al
invierno,
tiempo en España.
because it's cold,
En el
frío.
sur brilla el sol y va a ser un día caluroso. Sin embargo, en Madrid va a llover bastante durante todo el día. En el norte nos tendremos que poner las chaquetas de invierno porque las temperaturas van a bajar muchísimo.
Van a
En
bajar, is going to go
Barcelona
down.
nos acompañan fuertes vientos, así que mucho cuidado.
Cuidado is like
En
take care,
Ibiza
basically.
también disfrutaremos del sol y de temperaturas de 30 grados.
Disfrutar is to enjoy. So basically enjoy the sun in Ibiza. Vale, those are my answers in blue there. Let's go on to the next question then. This is multiple choice, so I can get a pen out to start ticking the answers, the correct ones. But first, I would say make notes on what you're hearing. So you're going to see me basically just type whatever I'm like, or write down whatever I'm hearing.
Section B.
Let's do that. This one then.
A charity event.
Messages for first, second, third, final year pupils. Vale. Just typing whatever I'm hearing, or the main points of what I'm hearing.
Question 3.
Atención. Este mensaje es para los alumnos de primer curso. ¿Ya tienes tu caja para la caridad? Hoy es miércoles. Para traer las cajas tenéis hasta el próximo viernes. En las cajas podéis poner material escolar y libros. No está permitido poner ni ropa, ni comida, ni bebida. Por otra parte, necesitamos voluntarios para ayudar. Mañana hay una reunión cuando terminen las clases en la sala de profesores. Ven para participar.
Vale. Basic notes on what I heard. Now let's actually read the question, quickly answer these then. So first one's going to be first year pupils. Primero curso is like the first course, the first year of the course. Deadline is next, próximo we said next. Viernes is Friday, so next Friday. You can include
Atención.
school items.
Este mensaje
The rest
es
ones are
para los
banned.
alumnos de primer curso. ¿Ya tienes tu caja para la caridad?
Caja is box.
Hoy es miércoles. Para traer las cajas tenéis hasta el próximo viernes.
Yep, next Friday.
En las cajas podéis poner material escolar y libros. No está permitido poner ni ropa, ni comida, ni bebida. Por otra parte, necesitamos voluntarios para ayudar. Mañana hay una reunión cuando terminen las clases en la sala de profesores.
So after
Ven
school.
para participar.
When the classes finish, mañana, tomorrow, cuando terminen, when the classes finish, so after school. They didn't use después, they just said when the classes finish, so that would be after school. Vale. So A, D, A, D. Let's move on then. More multiple choice questions. This one is we're checking the 3 correct boxes. Always make sure you read the
Problems
question
at the hotel.
and pick 3, not 2, not 4, not 1, 3. Same as before, I'm going to just on this side or on the bottom of the page, let's say, just start typing whatever I'm hearing in the sort of bullet point format, the main points of what I'm hearing. We're looking out for things like all about hotels, so stuff in a
Question
hotel.
4.
Quiero poner una queja sobre mi hotel. El servicio fue horrible y tuve que esperar mucho para recibir mis llaves. La recepcionista parecía enfadada y fue muy antipática. La habitación tenía vistas al mar y buen aire acondicionado. Sin embargo, no había toallas en el baño. El desayuno era demasiado temprano y el café estaba malo. Lo mejor del hotel era la piscina. Era formidable.
Vale. And now I'm actually going to pause the audio. And just using the notes I made while listening to that, I'm going to answer these questions. I think I should be able to do it. So he started off by saying la queja is the complaint. As we said, queja is the infinitive. So what does he complain about? A few things. Not the wrong keys. The keys took a while to arrive, but I don't think they were the wrong keys. Receptionist was not nice, so that's going to be staff for sure. Air conditioning, he liked the air conditioning. I don't think he mentioned the room being dirty. He mentioned the breakfast being too early and the like the cafe, the coffee, I just think, being bad. He said the swimming pool is good and no había toallas, there were no towels. So just from listening once through the whole audio, making notes on what I'm hearing in like a mix of Spanish and English, as you can see. Yeah, translating certain words that I know, but roughly a mixture of in Spanish and English, whatever makes sense for me. And then I believe those are correct. Let's now listen for the second time and just double check. Vale. I don't think he said the wrong keys. He said they're being late. So llaves is keys.
Quiero poner una queja sobre mi hotel. El servicio fue horrible y tuve que esperar mucho para recibir mis llaves.
You had to wait a long time to
La
receive his keys.
recepcionista parecía enfadada y fue muy antipática. La habitación tenía vistas al mar y buen aire acondicionado. Sin embargo, no había toallas en el baño. El desayuno era demasiado temprano y el café estaba malo. Lo mejor del hotel era la piscina. Era formidable.
Vale. What would you do in the exam if you didn't know the word enfadarse? Not much you can do, but you would know antipatica, and they're giving you two options. They both are a negative opinion. Yeah, the receptionist was bad because she was angry and she wasn't nice. She was antipatica. If you don't know the word enfadarse, learn your vocab. It's on the spec.
Olympic
Third Excel.
Games volunteers.
So use flashcards to learn the vocab, and then you will be able to recognize the words. Vale, we're going to move on to number 5 now. Olympic Games. Let's read the question a little bit. Carlos, different time frames. You'll be helping with all these different sports. In the reading time, you can go ahead and translate these sports.
Question 5.
And then uniform.
¿Cuándo empiezas el voluntariado?
Me voy a Tokio con mis amigos. Empezamos a trabajar a principios de julio para organizarlo todo. Aunque los Juegos Olímpicos comienzan el día 23.
¿Qué vas a hacer?
Voy a ayudar en el campeonato de boxeo, aunque preferiría el atletismo o el tenis de mesa.
¿Vas a llevar uniforme?
Desgraciadamente, sí. El uniforme es un poco feo, pero parece muy cómodo. Es amarillo, así que la gente nos verá fácilmente.
Okay, my spelling is not the best at all. But I think I know the answers here. Principios de julio, in the summer. Gonna double check that one. He's helping with the boxing championship, is campeonato. He mentions, I think, table tennis and swimming, or maybe athletics. As
¿Cuándo empiezas
he
el
would prefer that.
voluntariado?
Vale.
Me voy a Tokio con mis amigos. Empezamos a trabajar a principios de julio para
Start of July.
organizarlo todo.
Yeah, I think that should be correct.
Aunque los Juegos Olímpicos comienzan el día 23.
I'm going to pause this audio for a second. Where it says El Día 23, that's not important information. You've already answered the question in the summer at the start of July. So they will give you extra information that you do not need. Let's continue.
¿Qué vas a hacer?
Voy a ayudar en el campeonato de boxeo, aunque preferiría el atletismo o el tenis de mesa.
Okay, so he would prefer athletics or
¿Vas a
table
llevar
tennis.
uniforme?
Desgraciadamente, sí. El uniforme es un poco feo, pero parece muy cómodo. Es amarillo, así que la gente nos verá fácilmente.
Vale. It's no combi orange, it's yellow, amarillo. It's comfortable as well. Me parece que es muy cómodo. The only thing he says is ugly, which I'm going to link to, okay, it has to be unusual, even though the word feo is not actually on here, which just means ugly. Vale, vamos. Next one, this is the writing one. Let's get the textbooks ready for this.
Career plans.
Yeah, correct. First is going to be some jobs that Amelia wants to be or wants to do in the future.
Question 6, Part A.
Amelia, ¿en qué quieres trabajar?
Me encantan los documentales y quiero ser periodista. Sin embargo, lo que realmente me interesa es hacer entrevistas.
Estupendo.
Lo único que cambiaría es el horario. A veces hay que trabajar por la noche. Si tienes familia, puede ser difícil.
Vale. I believe these are the correct answers here. So tiene que trabajar por la noche, you have to work at night. So if you have like a family, that's what she said about you struggle if you have a family working in some night shifts. Amelia wants to be a periodista. That one word should be correct.
Amelia,
And then this
¿en
as
qué
well.
quieres trabajar?
Me encantan los documentales y quiero ser periodista. Sin embargo, lo que realmente me interesa es hacer entrevistas.
Estupendo.
Lo único que cambiaría es el horario. A veces hay que trabajar por la noche. Si tienes familia, puede ser difícil.
Vale. Horario is a schedule, so yeah, those three I believe are correct. You can see how quickly it goes to 1, 2, 3 straight after the next. Because it's all part of like one big question, the text is all like one paragraph of that. Okay, now we're going to move on to Pablo, I believe. Let's zoom in a bit more, shall we? Vale. Why does Pablo want to be a fireman? Many reasons.
Question 6, Part B.
¿Y tú, Pablo? ¿Qué quieres ser?
Pues he decidido que quiero ser bombero.
So he wants to
A
be a
mí
fireman.
me gusta mucho la educación física y es un trabajo muy activo.
Muy bien.
Para mí, lo más importante del trabajo es poder salvar vidas y ayudar a la gente.
That one, because to save lives, so to be able to save lives. I'm gonna say puede, so yeah, you can save lives, or he can save lives. Why did he want to be a fireman? He says he likes sports. Is this a correct answer though? It's correct. He said
¿Y
that
tú,
it's
Pablo?
active job.
¿Qué quieres ser?
Let's hear again.
Pues he decidido que quiero ser bombero. A mí me gusta mucho la educación física y es un trabajo muy activo.
Muy bien.
Para mí, lo más importante del trabajo es poder salvar vidas y ayudar a la gente.
Vale. Because this is one detail, I'm just going to leave those 3 words and those 5 words at the top there. I believe it should be correct. I will go through I'll put the mark scheme on the screen right now. So hopefully that is correct. Otherwise, I would say he likes physical education, and for this, I'd say ayudar. I think he said like otras or something, or like la gente. Anyway, let's move on to Raquel in number
My
7.
birthday party.
My birthday party. Vale. Why was she absent? Her best friend and grandmother, and then about the dress and what made the party special. All 1 mark, 2 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Vamos. I'm going to make notes at the bottom here for a second.
Question 7, Part A.
¿Qué tal tu fiesta de cumpleaños?
Fantástica. Vinieron muchos amigos. Sin embargo, mi mejor amiga no pudo venir porque tenía que cuidar de su hermano pequeño. ¡Qué pena!
¿Y la tarta?
Mi madre cocinó toda la comida, pero la tarta de cumpleaños la hizo mi abuela. Tiene 90 años y es una cocinera excelente.
Vale. Slightly gets a bit harder here. So, she could not come because she had to take care of her younger. We're answering in English, aren't we? I just realized. Answering in English. Okay, I'm just going to continue with this. These answers should be in English. I've just clocked that right now. I did it in Spanish. I'm just going to move on for a second. But it should be in English. Do not make that mistake in the real exam. That's completely my bad. Okay, let's just continue with this then. Everyone can make mistakes. I was not paying attention with that. I thought just answer in Spanish, but no, answer in English for these questions. If you're unsure, obviously read the question, as I clearly did not do. But the rest of them is okay because the rest of them are just multiple choice. Correct? Yeah. So just this question here, number 6, I should have done it all in English. I'm just going to continue for the time being though. Okay, like I was saying, so answer in English then. Why was Raquel's best friend absent from the party? Because she had to take care of her younger brother, should be correct. Let's continue with the audio then. Why does she mention her grandmother?
¿Qué tal tu fiesta de cumpleaños?
Fantástica. Vinieron muchos amigos. Sin embargo, mi mejor amiga no pudo venir porque tenía que cuidar de su hermano pequeño. ¡Qué pena!
That should be correct.
¿Y la tarta?
Mi madre cocinó toda la comida, pero la tarta de cumpleaños la hizo mi abuela. Tiene 90 años y es una cocinera excelente.
So because it's tarta de cumpleaños, I'm going to change to birthday cake. Vale. And then next one, let's listen about dress this time then. I'm still going to make notes in Spanish or like in English as well, but remember, answer in English. I can't believe I made the mistake in the previous question. You would lose all the marks if you answer in the wrong language. Vale. Part B, what does she say about her dress?
Question 7, Part B.
¿Qué llevaste?
Pues al final decidí ponerme un vestido largo de lunares. Me peiné con mucho estilo y me puse un sombrero.
¿Qué hicisteis?
Como siempre, organizamos varios juegos durante la tarde y bailamos hasta las 2 de la mañana. Lo mejor fue que todo el mundo se quedó a dormir y acampamos en el jardín.
Vale. What does she say about her dress? This lunares, I'm thinking is to do with like the moon or something, not a word I've seen before. Let's worry about the special party. What made the party special? Everyone stayed overnight for a sleepover, I'm going to say. Hopefully that's
¿Qué
correct.
llevaste?
distressed one here though.
Pues al final decidí ponerme un vestido largo de lunares. Me peiné con mucho estilo y me puse un sombrero.
Lunares, I'm
¿Qué
struggling with that one.
hicisteis?
Not sure. Just guessing space
Como siempre,
dangerous.
organizamos varios juegos durante la tarde y bailamos hasta las 2 de la mañana. Lo mejor fue que todo el mundo se quedó a dormir y acampamos en el jardín.
Dormir is to sleep. Vale. I'm going to pause the audio for a second there. Okay, so those are my answers for that one. I'm actually going to go back and change all of number 6 just into English. Just so when I go ahead to mark it, when I'm editing the video, I have some answers I can actually mark. Amelia wants to be journalist. So let's just do it like this then. I would be journalist. Journalist, that's what periodista means. What interests her? Making, also just doing interviews. I'm just translating what I said earlier on. So, what is the disadvantage of this career for people with a family? You have to work at night. Should be correct. And then part B about Pablo. It's an active job. No, I'm going to change this one because in English it makes less sense. He likes physical education. He likes physical activity. I'm going to say. And then why does he think it's important? He can save lives. Okay, those are my sort of answers in English now. Okay, let's keep going. So you finished question 7. Let's move on to question 8. It's a multiple choice again now. Vale. Ivan in boarding school. Teachers is los profesores. I'm going to change this to red actually. Or los maestros as well.
My boarding school.
Maestros.
Question 8, Part A.
¿Cómo es tu colegio?
Es un colegio bastante tradicional, con buena educación. Está muy bien organizado y aprovechas el día al máximo.
¿Y los profesores?
La verdad es que los profesores siempre tienen tiempo para escuchar tus problemas y aconsejarte. No son nada estrictos. Por otro lado, los alumnos son amables y muy trabajadores en clase.
Vale. Okay, so Ivan's school is traditional and good education and well organized. You also went on to say here. Teachers are supportive because they have time to listen to your problems, basically. So that would be supportive. Old-fashioned is the one where they mention up here. So it would be as the answer for I, not for the second, not for I. So
¿Cómo
teachers are
es tu
supportive.
colegio?
And students are amables, is kind.
Es un colegio
They're not lazy.
bastante tradicional,
They're not
con buena
rude.
educación. Está muy bien organizado y aprovechas el día al máximo.
¿Y los profesores?
La verdad es que los profesores siempre tienen tiempo para escuchar tus problemas y aconsejarte.
To advise you,
No
aconsejarte.
son nada estrictos. Por otro lado, los alumnos son amables y muy trabajadores en clase.
So this one here, I'm going to pause the audio just for a second. This is where it gets slightly tricky. So they mentioned 2 adjectives, amable, which means kind, and trabajador, trabajadores, which is hardworking. So you're sort of in between. Are they kind or are they clever? I'm not going to say clever because it does not explicitly mention that. It says they're hardworking doesn't mean they're clever. They're kind. You can be hardworking and still not get good results, so you're not clever, technically speaking. So therefore, the answer is kind for this one, I'm going to say, and that should be correct. These ones, you have to think about, like, what is the correct answer. They will mention multiple things. They mention, you know, kind and clever, or hardworking. Kind is the correct one there, vale. And then the other ones are quite self-explanatory, I think. Vale, let's continue. We are in question 8. There's 10 questions in total, so we're towards the end of this paper now. I don't think it's been too tricky, I will say, for now. And then part B about Ivan, continuing on with question 8. Building is el edificio.
Question 8, Part B.
¿Vives en el colegio?
Sí, el edificio es sensacional y tenemos un gran salón. Lo que más me gusta son mis compañeros de dormitorio.
¿Qué cambiarías?
Odio hacer deporte después de terminar los deberes en la biblioteca. No me interesan las redes sociales ni salir, pero quisiera tener más tiempo para hablar con mi familia.
Vale. They really mention a lot of things here, don't they? This one here is going to be family. He mentioned social media and go out with friends, but he says ni. So no study, or sorry, no, he doesn't want to use social media, nor go out with friends. So that's going to be talk to family. This one is going to be sports, even though he mentions homework
¿Vives en el colegio?
and the biblioteca. Double check
Sí.
question 1.
El edificio es sensacional y tenemos un gran salón.
Roommates.
Lo que más me gusta son mis compañeros de dormitorio.
Compañeros
¿Qué
de dormitorio is
cambiarías?
roommates.
Odio hacer deporte después de terminar los deberes en la biblioteca.
They mention all three at once there.
No me interesan las redes sociales ni salir, pero quisiera tener más tiempo para hablar con mi familia.
Vale. So B, C, B, and then number 9 up here. Let's move this a little bit. Vale. Valencia Underground Station. This question might be where it gets slightly trickier. A lot of writing questions. 10 marks this whole question is actually. Vale. When did night service start in Valencia? So answering still in English. Make sure you answer in English. Don't
Valencia
forget.
Underground Station.
Vale. Part A and part B. So split up the first 3 is all at once then. Okay.
Question 9, Part A.
Estimados pasajeros, hoy hace 6 meses que empezó el servicio nocturno de metro en Valencia.
6 months ago, this one's going to be.
Durante el fin de semana, el horario de los trenes es hasta las 3 de la mañana. A partir de las 11 de la noche, tu billete cuesta menos.
Hay una media de 9.000 pasajeros que usa este servicio. La mayoría de ellos son gente que sale de fiesta y aquellos que no tienen permiso de conducir.
Vale. So 6 months ago is when it started because hace 6 meses. That hace is like a ago. This way to edit this answer here, make it actually seem correct. So how can you benefit? So from
Estimados pasajeros, hoy hace 6 meses que empezó el servicio nocturno de metro en Valencia.
this could be quite tricky actually. Let's hear it again.
Durante el fin de semana, el horario de los trenes es hasta las 3 de la mañana. A partir de las 11 de la noche, tu billete cuesta menos.
Hay una media de 9.000 pasajeros que usa este servicio. La mayoría de ellos son gente que sale de fiesta y aquellos que no tienen permiso de conducir.
I'm going to pause the audio for a second just so I have time to actually write this out. If you have extra time in this exam, as I've said before, it is really helpful because you have time to think about what you're going to write and converting sort of from Spanish into English. I'm going to pause the audio so I can think about this for a second. So 6 months ago, that's correct. We can schedule it until 3 p.m. or sorry, 3 a.m. That's not the best way of wording that, is it? How can we benefit from the service at weekends? Trains run until 3 a.m. is what I'm going to say for that one. And then from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Also, just from 11 p.m. ticket is cheaper. Because el billete is the ticket. Okay, next one. This is what these were my notes in Spanish. Let's make that a little bit smaller. About it here. Average of 9,000. 9,000 is not 9 million. 9,000 people use the service. Media de, yeah, average of, yeah. Most of them sale de fiesta is go out on a party, go out to party and don't have a driving license. Is roughly what that's saying. Is that going to get you the mark though? Most of them go out to party. Let's just say most of them don't have a driving license. And I hope that would be accepted in the mark scheme. But let's continue with the audio then. So yeah, you can't always be too sure if you're going to get it correct, even though you understand what is being said. So I hope those 3 things I've said there, or those like 1, 2, 3, 5 things I've said are correct. Vale, part B. Vale. How will train journeys be improved by the end of the year? So it's not happened yet. In the future, it will happen. It will be improved.
Question 9, Part B.
Part B.
Seguimos con las mejoras del metro. Para final de año, el objetivo es que haya trenes cada 5 minutos.
Esto permitirá no solo crear más puestos de trabajo, sino también reducir el tráfico en la ciudad.
Vamos a introducir nuevos descuentos para los estudiantes de universidad. Podrán viajar gratis, como la tercera edad y los niños.
Aprovechamos para recordaros que la línea al aeropuerto sigue cerrada hasta el 3 de septiembre.
This can be hard. All these different multiple questions all at once. It's one. The next, you have to jump quickly to the next question. That one is correct, I believe. 3rd of September, yes. This one, they mentioned other types of children. I'm going to say university students. Let's listen one more time and just double check. I need to translate this into English. So, how will
Seguimos con las mejoras del metro.
Trains
Para final de año, el objetivo es que haya trenes cada 5 minutos.
Esto permitirá no solo crear más puestos de trabajo, sino también reducir el tráfico en la ciudad.
Vamos a introducir nuevos descuentos para los estudiantes de universidad. Podrán viajar gratis, como la tercera edad y los niños.
That one's I'm going to pause the audio for a second. That one's an interesting one. They mentioned that, like, I think it's kids below like 13 or something, or maybe 3, can travel for free, completely for free. That is not a discount. That's completely free. So it's going to be university students can benefit from discounts. It's different to benefiting from like a completely free service. Vale.
Aprovechamos para recordaros que la línea al aeropuerto sigue cerrada hasta el 3 de septiembre.
Vale. No, that should all be correct then. There will be trains, or maybe there might be trains, or should be trains, because it's the present subjunctive here. Hay trenes. I'm going to stick it with there will be. Maybe in the mark scheme, it will be like there might be or should be or instead of will. But let's leave it for now. Okay, so this is our last question. I believe it is. Yes, question 10. Vale.
Shopping.
Let's zoom in a bit then, shall we? So 2 answers. It's going to be all at once because there's no part A, part B. So first about Eva's, what does Eva say?
Question 10. Part 1.
Vale.
Odio ir a comprar ropa y zapatos. Es inaguantable. Me irrita tener que esperar para entrar al probador y otra vez para pagar en caja. Además de ser más cómodo, puedes encontrar todas las tallas en las tiendas online. Las únicas tiendas a las que voy son las tiendas retro.
Vale. A lot of information all at once. That's not correct. This is correct. And I believe that's correct. Let's say it one more time, just to double check. They mentioned cash, but I can't remember what she said about cash. She
Odio
mentioned
ir a comprar ropa
the
y
waiting room and
zapatos.
stuff.
Es inaguantable. Me irrita tener que esperar para entrar al probador y otra vez para pagar en caja. Además de ser más cómodo, puedes encontrar todas las tallas en las tiendas online.
Dias is sizes.
Las únicas tiendas a las que voy son las tiendas retro.
Vale, creo que I wasn't actually listening that time properly, but I believe these are correct. She doesn't mention returning goods. Yeah, A and C, vale. Next one, last one. Again, just 2 correct answers for this as well. Let's get textbooks after this. And listen to the audio.
Question 10. Part 2.
Mis amigas gastan mucho dinero en maquillaje. Sin embargo, yo me lo gasto casi todo en ropa de segunda mano, como mi hermana mayor. Me encanta la idea de que nadie en la calle lleve la misma chaqueta que yo. El poco dinero que me queda al mes lo ahorro.
Aha. Interesting. Okay. So secondhand clothes. Her sister buys secondhand clothes. So this is for facts not true because her friends like makeup. She doesn't. She doesn't like buying makeup. Rarely buys clothes. No, she buys clothes, secondhand clothes.
Mis
though.
amigas gastan mucho dinero en maquillaje. Sin embargo, yo me lo gasto casi todo en ropa de segunda mano, como mi hermana mayor. Me
Yeah.
encanta la idea de que nadie en la calle lleve la misma chaqueta que yo.
Also
El
correct.
poco dinero que me queda al mes lo ahorro.
She saves. Oh, that's not correct. I'm doing that. She saves some money. Poco dinero is still something. More than nothing, isn't it? Vale. So even though it's poco dinero, she still saves some money. So it's not any money. Okay, so that's A, C, and C and D. I believe that's the end of the test. The audio should probably say end of test. While we wait for that.
This is the end of the recording.
Yep,
You
amazing.
may continue to write and check your answers until the end of the test.
Interesting. When does the test end? I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm going to stop there then. Yeah, genial. Muchísimas gracias for watching, and I hope you found this video super helpful. Visit acestarspanish.com/tutoring to get Spanish tutoring from me, and subscribe for more GCSE Spanish videos in the lead up to your exams. Adios!